I Am Big is about sharing what's working in a big way. Shaun Sperling is an attorney, writer, civil rights advocate, performer, and speaker. The video of him performing Madonna's Vogue at his 1992 bar mitzvah went viral in August 2012, receiving over 1.1 million views in only 2 months. Shaun believes in accepting himself and others around him. He believes in authenticity.
A 33-year-old attorney from Chicago is becoming quite the internet sensation.
Dance tribute to the Material Girl is going viral today.
This is wonderful. There's a video that has become very popular online over the past few days.
Things that we love doing throughout the day is checking in on the various sections of the Huffington Post and see what's blowing up.
Caught on videotape. That's what happened to Chicago lawyer Shaun Sperling.
This video was posted on August 10th. It's received over 1.1 million views.
Shaun Sperling is now a Chicago lawyer, but it's his performance as a 13-year-old at his bar mitzvah way back in 1992 that's turned him into an internet sensation.
After posting a video of his own bar mitzvah. We're going to set the scene for you. 1992, Shaun Sperling celebrated his journey into manhood with a Madonna-themed bar mitzvah, complete with the Material Girl on the back of his shirt and a solo dance to Vogue.
And here is the latest footage to come out.
It's March 1992 and 13-year-old Shaun Sperling has just become a man at the Jewish bar mitzvah or coming-of-age ceremony. And he's about to do a special performance dance in front of friends and family. That's right, it's a Vogue. And yes, that's Madonna on his back. 20 years later, the video became an internet smash, and Shaun, who is now a lawyer, became a legend.
Welcome, Shaun, to the I Am Big show. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Very happy to be here.
Good to see you. I've met you once before.
Yeah.
And it was just magic.
It was.
Just like sitting with someone who's just really nice. So
thank you
for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And looks like you have chosen the dirty martini.
I did.
Do you like to get dirty?
I do, once in a while.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later. Let's
cheers.
just have a little cheers. It's a pleasure to have you. So your video,
yes,
and the world has been talking about the video.
Yeah.
So we are very, very happy to have you on the show.
Thanks.
So tell us about your video.
Sure. Well, it's a video of my 1992 bar mitzvah. Specifically, it's a part of the bar mitzvah after I read from the Torah to become a man, and I did a full-on choreographed dance to Madonna's Vogue, because naturally the theme of my bar mitzvah was Madonna. So when you have a bar mitzvah, you choose a theme. Most boys choose, like, I don't know, cars or sports or something very traditional. And I wanted a Madonna themed bar mitzvah.
Why Madonna?
Well,
you're obviously the big icon.
You know, it was, yeah.
In India too.
Yeah.
I mean, she's big.
I fell in love with Madonna a couple years before that. I was 11, and I was watching the morning news with my mom, and she was in Chicago to do the Blonde Ambition tour. She came up and did this, the opening of the Blonde Ambition tour, which was Express Yourself. And it was like this moment where the world stopped, and I was just blown away. And from that moment on, it was like my obsession, and everybody knew that I loved Madonna. You know, I decked out my locker at school in Madonna, and just became known as this Madonna boy. And then, when thinking about a theme for your bar mitzvah, I never thought that my parents would say, go for it. We support it, but I just kind of broached the subject, and my mom was like, if that's what you're really into, go for it. Right. As soon as I decided to do the Madonna theme bar mitzvah, I knew I had to make this grand entrance. I was very theatrical, as I am now. And I decided to dance to Vogue when being introduced to all the guests. And so I watched the video and the tour, the Vogue from the Blonde Ambition tour, over and over again. Every day after school, I'd watch it over and over again. And then my sister and I would practice until dinner time. So we practiced like crazy. And then, you know, the morning of my bar mitzvah, my mom surprised me with the shirt that, you know, became all the rage after the video went online. And so she surprised me, you know, and I wore that and then revealed it during the performance.
And the shirt has
Madonna, like painted, airbrushed on the back.
How was that experience back then?
Well, you know, it's amazing because I never really thought about that aspect of it when I decided to upload it to YouTube kind of randomly. I never thought it had kind of a deeper meaning. I just thought it was this, you know, kooky video. But it really is really a testament to my parents and my sisters and my friends and my whole surrounding that allowed me to be the person that I was. And I mean, this was 1992. It wasn't very common to have a gay kid who was confident in who he was. And this is the thing.
Did they know back then?
No, and that's part of the beauty of it to me, is that it didn't. And it wasn't at 13. It wasn't, you know, today. You know, people talk about it a lot. So you wonder, is this kid gay? Is he not? What is he? Or she?
The fact is, I think he's gay. He didn't pick up a doll. He's not gay.
Right. And it's like people go right there. And you know, better now. It's better now than it was. But back then, the beauty was that I had the support system, the family and the friends who just were celebrating me for me. And there's something really beautiful about that. And when I watch the video now, you know, I kept it hidden for 20 years because it mortified me to watch.
Just looking at you now and seeing that, that's very interesting.
I don't know, but it's a process.
And so that's why you kept it kind of under the wraps, if you will?
Well, there was a couple reasons. I mean, I talked about it all the time. And so I just knew it was time to show it. I also just had never pulled it out of the crawl space, had it transferred to a digital copy because it was on a VHS. So it was just timing as well. But there was something very embarrassing about it that I still am not sure why.
Do you think, though, looking back, it was really celebrating yourself?
Oh, completely. And that's what I get from it now. As I watch it and I see that there is this 13-year-old boy who is, it's not even like I had to work up the confidence to do this. It's not that I was worried about what people would say about me. It was just so pure, and that's, to me, the beauty of it now.
What happened suddenly, so many years later, you decided to put the video out? What really happened?
So I was, one of my hobbies is storytelling with an audience, and it's great. So I've been doing this monthly event at a gallery space for a show that's called West Perry and Friends. It's comedians and performers, and you know, it's a hodgepodge of a lot of queer artists. So I had this idea to write a series of stories that were all about my lifelong love of Madonna. So my first piece was going to be when I fell in love with her at 11 years old, to my bar mitzvah. And the end piece was of that, you know, one performance was gonna show the video and kind of dance, you know, Vogue with myself and continue telling the story.
Can you do that sitting for a second?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And you got it, right?
Almost.
Yeah. I got the video out. I dug it out and I was like, I'm ready to tell this story. I transferred it to digital copy and I put it on YouTube. And I didn't tell anybody because I wanted it to be like the first time I'm showing it at this performance. It was August 15th.
2000.
Just this, 2012. Yeah. So just, the last year. So I uploaded to YouTube. I sent it to some, like my best friends. And I said, I've been telling you about this for 20 years. Here it is. So my one friend, Scott, was like begging me to send it to Perez Hilton, the celebrity blogger. And it was the day of the show. That morning, I'm at my office and he asked me, and I said, you know what, just go ahead. What is Perez Hilton gonna do with it? I'm not worried, you know. So about 9:30, we're having this conversation. 9:35, Scott emails, you know, Perez Hilton, CCs me. Like, it's like 9:45, 10 minutes later, Perez Hilton himself writes back, I'm dead. That's all he says is I'm dead. And Scott and I are in this conversation for the next 10 minutes, just back and forth, like what is going on? And then it was like 10 a.m. and Perez Hilton posted it on PerezHilton.com, and it said the greatest video on the
internet video ever.
Yeah,
Yes.
And it was in the next few hours. I mean, really, it was like few hours. Every national media outlet and blog picked it up. It was on CNN, MSNBC, Huffington Post. And then I started getting calls from, and I had the performance that night, which was like explosive. The energy was crazy.
Right.
And it was...
Life changed overnight.
It was
over day.
It was,
over
yeah.
day, yeah.
And the next morning, people were texting me, I saw your video on the Today Show and Good Morning America. And on my way to work is when I got the call from the Today Show that they were flying me out that night to be on the next morning.
So yeah, so you get a call and then you're off to do the Today Show.
Yeah, it was instantaneous, and I flew out that night. My partner and my mom came with me. They flew them out, and that weekend was insane. I mean, it was, I went and did a Huffington Post live bit. I had Anderson Cooper's producers trying to get me in for an interview. All the while, Ellen's producers wanted me, but they both wanted exclusivity. So I was kind of, trying to play this Hollywood game between them. It was
that
nuts.
game gets tough. I've done a little bit in India.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, and you don't have an agent, and you suddenly are like, I don't know, Jay-Z, and you like I don't know why I chose Jay-Z, but so I was being pulled in a million directions, and then Jimmy Kimmel, I got the call from Jimmy Kimmel's producers, and they wanted me for Monday, which was perfect. And it was just a complete whirlwind of media appearances, and all the while, the message of the video became very clear to me that this was, again, not just about a kid dancing flamboyantly at 13, but it was about self-respect and authenticity and having support from friends and family. And I just wanted to make sure, and this is where the Hollywood game gets really difficult, because you realize you're on these talk shows for what they want.
Right.
And I very quickly realized, even with the Today Show, which was my first big one, that they didn't really want to hear about that, but I had to make sure it got in. Mm-hmm. And that is really the core of the whole experience for me.
So didn't you meet Madonna on the Ellen show?
Yes. So
and Ellen introduced Madonna and you, right?
Yeah, it was a wild experience over it lasted about 3 months of doing different engagements and interviews, and I gave Ellen exclusivity, and they kept pushing me off to do the interview. It was supposed to be in September, and then they said it was going to be October 10th, and I knew Madonna was going to be in LA October 10th. So it was in the back of my mind that it could happen. And then leading up, then Ellen, I went about a month later to the Ellen show, and I was supposed to have a sit-down interview with Ellen talking about the cause, and I put a lot of energy into it in preparation. And in the very last minute, they cut the interview, which was really upsetting. It was really disappointing for me because I turned down Anderson Cooper for the same kind of interview. I just wanted the message to get out, and I thought Ellen, of all people, is the one to share it, right? She's got a huge audience of middle-class mother, stay-at-home moms who need to hear this message of love, support, authenticity. In the end, they cut the interview, but still had me on the show because Madonna was there. And I have like a,
Madonna is your guide.
Yeah, she is.
Guiding you through this, absolutely.
And there was a 2 to 3 minute segment where I chat with Ellen and Madonna, and it was magical. And what you don't see, I'm still trying to get the footage. I think they're gonna send it to me, but at commercial break, and Madonna's getting touched up at the break, and they're playing the song "Don't Tell Me," from the music album, and I just am like dancing and singing and just feeling it. And the audience warmer comes around, and he just hands me the mic, and I take it, and I'm going up and down the aisle singing and dancing. And at some point, like someone nudges Madonna and points to me, and then she goes like this. And then I like look at her, and I start doing this move from the video, like where she shakes like and puts her hand out. She's like a cowboy, and she does it. So we're doing it towards each other. And then in the song it says, "Get down on your knees," and she like points down. And Madonna tells you to get on your knees. You get on your knees, right? So I like get down, and I'm like up and down dancing and singing. And I mean, When I was a kid, people said, if you met Madonna, what would you say? And I said, I would not say a word, I would just want to dance. And it happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So that's amazing. I mean, it is, I can't even describe it. It's beyond a whirlwind. It is one of the manifestations of being authentic.
Yeah, it absolutely
right?
is.
Just one of them. And I feel that now what's going to happen is going to be way bigger than this.
Right.
Because it's going to be about your work going forward.
It. And my message.
And your message. And your unique contribution to this world.
Right.
So you got your fame. How do you love fame?
So I don't get me wrong. I do love attention. It's part of my DNA. It's who I am.
I do too.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, and you know, because you know
it's okay.
yourself.
Yeah, you
it
gotta
is
know
okay.
yourself. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But what I realized along the process, that it wasn't about getting attention. It was about speaking this message and knowing that people were hearing it. And coupling that with the excitement of going to New York and to Hollywood and being kind of in this, like, I don't know, this really high energy environment where it's exciting and it's changing every minute was amazing to me. Along the way here, and I've really taken a lot of time to figure out, what am I going to do with all of this, right? And it's just about getting this message across. And I've taken a lot of time and energy to learn about authenticity and what it means to be authentic and the power of authenticity. But one of the things that I'm really sure about in this short amount of time that I've taken to learn this, even though arguably I've been learning this my whole life.
Right, but now it's like a crash course.
Now it is a crash course, and I'm focused on it.
Right.
What I know is that I don't think anybody can ever be authentic. I think we can only strive for authenticity, and it's all a process. And as long as an individual is striving for authenticity,
that is authentic.
It is, and they're on their way to success and happiness. Because
That's
you
beautiful.
think about it.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
It is.
It's a really beautiful thing. I mean, you think about it. We're changing every day, every minute. Yeah. Who I was at 13 is certainly not who I am at 33. I mean, a lot has changed. A lot has changed since yesterday. But if I'm always searching to the core for who I am and what my principles are and morals and what my beliefs are, I know that I will live a successful and happy life.
That's awesome.
So what I've created is a program I'm calling University, spelled Y-O-U, University. And it's all about realizing your greatest potential through authenticity. So it's imparting to everybody. I mean, it's really going to be really school-based. I'm speaking at a lot of colleges and high schools, but I think there's room to speak to businesses and other organizations about people looking inward and realizing that it's all within them, that purity, that authenticity, that real person is in there, covered in layers and layers of expectations of outside influences, that you forget who you are. But once you realize who you are, that's the key to a successful path, right?
I beyond feel it.
Yeah, you live it. I mean, you're a prime example of somebody who embraces who they are and strives every day to be the real you.
I'm trying. The process is authentic.
Well, it is, and it's really hard, right?
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, on that note, stay tuned at ShaunSperling.com. Again, ShaunSperling.com for wonderful updates from the lovely Shaun right here. And I hope you and I will continue to live our lives in an authentic way as well. Thanks for doing that for us.
Thank you.
So much. Love you and love you. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.